what subgenres will do will help put people in lanes, as everybody like to say. We've already created them anyway. They're just not official.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because the artists don't agree with them. 9 times out of 10, the artists don't agree with them. If you ask T.I., what do you do? I make hip hop. What type of hip hop? Sometimes he might say trap. Sometimes he might just say, motherfucker, I make hip hop. I watched an interview one time. I know I'm talking about LP a lot. I watched an interview one time where they asked LP, like, I heard people say that you make like a punk style of rap. And he's like, nah, dude, I make hip hop. Like, that's what I make. With an element, with a foundation in boom bap. Now, if you put Fantastic Damage on, boom bap is not going to come to your mind at all. Would it? Well, you haven't heard Fantastic Damage. If you listen to Cancer for Cure, does boom bap come to mind? Exactly. But look at the artist himself is telling you, I make boom bap. And then what kind of hip hop is Public Enemy? Is that boom bap? But I'm just saying, is Public Enemy boom bap to you? Okay, now do you listen to Public Enemy beats and you listen to LP beats? Do they sound similar to you?
No, but here's the thing. Just
That's
because
the thing. That's all I'm trying to get at. They do sound the same, but they're completely different fucking lanes.
okay,
LP is not considered the same thing that Public Enemy is.
and I give you that, but just because an artist, and I think Kanye was the prime example. Just because an artist, right, did this one album. So if we're talking sound, all right. If we're talking sound, one artist could be in 5 different sound categories. That just means that person is creative. If those 5 different sound categories, their album is considered great in those 5 different sound categories, right? So, what's wrong with having Kanye like in 4 different? How many albums you got? 4? That's it.
Now let's drop 5, 6, whatever.
Okay, so what's wrong with having him in 5 different subgenres?
What's the purpose?
Because every album is different.
But what is the purpose of having these subgenres if you have one artist in fucking 5 of them? What is the purpose of this subgenre? What are you trying to accomplish by doing this?
Because we're separating the music by itself.
But why though? For what? For what reason?
Because like Kev said, people like music for sound, right? So if you like this one, you're probably gonna like that one, and they're all clumped up in that same sound category. No? Why?
I just think this is pointless. I think it's pointless. I think the only purpose of subgenres is to describe the music to somebody else. If I come to B and I say, yo, I just found this new guy named, MC whatever, MC like Lamppost. What does he sound like? And I can describe him that way. But if I go back to the artists themselves and I say, hey, describe your music, it's probably gonna be completely opposite. It's not gonna be at all what I said. If I say Death Grips, if you ask me what they sound like, and they ask you what they sound like, and you ask Modest Media what they sound like, we're gonna give 3 completely separate descriptions, and then go ask the band themselves what they sound like.
Okay,
I'm
sorry.
No, go ahead.
So subgenres don't work. How do we get people to not just categorize music like, oh, that's not real hip hop?
You don't. That's an ignorant part of hip hop. You accept it. That's just the way things are. People are gonna do that regardless. Who fucking cares? And motherfuckers are so ignorant and boneheaded, they feel like you can't like this, and this. But
So you saying just keep it like that, that's fine?
leave it. Who cares? It's all hip hop. It's all hip hop. We're the only fucking genre that is really caught up on this. Like, who gives a fuck? Like, yeah, all these other genres, they have subgenres too. Punk rock has it, indie rock has it, metal has it. And people do comparisons that way too, but nobody gets upset about it. Who gives a shit?
Well, pop has different subgenres too, right?
Of course. But then you get into the category of like who's pop and who's not. Like, is Green Day a pop group? No, it's not. It's the same fucking thing.
Because rock has different subgenres, right?
Say again? Yes.
Indie rock.
Everything has different subgenres.
So why can't hip hop have subgenres?
No, I'm saying like, okay, so like if you ask someone what kind of band Green Day is, which I'm sure everybody here has heard Green Day, what would you call Green Day? But you've heard a song or two, bro.
Like soft rock?
I don't even know.
Okay, so Rob would call them soft rock. What would you call Green Day?
Indie rock, I guess. I just
Indie rock. This is perfect.
I just throw something out.
Soft rock?
Soft rock. Now, you have Green Day, a band that grew up in Bay Area punk rock, that you call them soft rock, you call them indie rock, some people call them a pop rock band. Where do they fall? Do they fall in pop rock?
You know
do they
where-
fall in soft rock? Where do they go?
You know where it goes? It goes
Miscellaneous?
No, it goes where whoever the gatekeeper was that created the subgenre, it falls in that category across the board.
Come on, we're giving this to some person to sit back and be a gatekeeper of the fucking subgenre?
This is
retarded.
Broken down. That's why you have different
Right.
types of radio.
And then
that
I
play
know if you've
different
gotten mad before. Like if I was to call some heavy metal band rock and roll, you wouldn't like that shit.
I would correct you. I wouldn't get upset about it.
So why is it different?
What do you mean why is it
Because
different?
everybody might think it's just rock and roll. This shit is rock and roll. It's
It
just like
is.
Right. But
It is. But I would say okay. So if we're
you
talking
say
about
heavy, well, that's not heavy metal. That's like soft rock. You've said that to me before.
yes, definitely.
So why can't it just be like you said with hip hop? Why can't people just accept it? It's all rock and roll. It's just different variations of rock and roll.
Because I know what you mean. That's why. Because when you say if I'm playing a death metal album and you say, man, I just can't get with this rock and roll shit. I know what you mean. I'm trying to correct you because you know what I'm saying. I ain't trying to have you on the street sounding crazy.
But
But if it's
that's
another,
where subgenres come into play. And
I
that's how they
agree.
can
That's
help.
what I said. That's what I said. I said that already.
Yeah.
I said subgenres come into play if it comes to describing
describing the
the
sound.
music,
Right.
describing the sound. But if you're trying to categorize somebody and keep them in that category with a subgenre, I think it's fucked up.
And
Because if you
my
have
point is that we don't keep people in any type of subgenre. Their music puts themselves into subgenres, just like
purpose correcting Rod. If he says I can't get with this rock and roll shit, oh well, do you like Pink Floyd? Do you like Coldplay? Yeah, I like them. Well, then you do like rock and roll. You just don't like death metal because death metal is a subgenre of rock and roll.
And he
That's
would
all
know-
that.
And he would know to stay away from it.
Right,
So
but
if he
that's
goes
all.
looking,
That's all I'm saying.
yeah. So if he's searching for something, he would know. Like if he see the death metal subgenre, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna stay away from that. If I'm a hip hop fan and I see swag rap, I'm like, yeah, I'm
But
gonna
swag
stay away
rap is
from that.
harder than that though because it's difficult to
That's
say.
yeah.
You know, who can be categorized as swag rap? Kanye could, to some jackass
But see-
could be considered swag rap
But
because do you talk about swag? Do you talk about money? Talk about cars? Talk about bitches? Oh, you're swag rap.
and Kanye in the same genre.
Right, and they're completely different.
But I think in order to create the subgenre, and I think that's where, you know, at one point I think in the discussion, people were like, well, I think you may have brought it up. You're like, they make a different sound, which created another subgenre. I think at some point, if they're making something completely different, you have to have more people follow along with that, and more artists doing that type of sound of music before you create that subgenre. So if Death Grips, as an example, comes along, they're doing a completely different sound right now than anybody else out. You know, so I think in order to create a subgenre for Death Grips, we need a multitude of artists doing that type of hip hop in order to create it. So I don't think we would run into a problem of having too many subgenres if we place like a minimum number of artists into whatever the rules are before we create it. You kind of see what I'm saying? I know that was long-winded.
No. I see exactly what you're saying. I agree with you on some aspects and on some I don't. Because look, you had that dude Blackie, who really did the shit way before Death Grips.
Okay.
You had people like Techno Animal that was doing that sound before Death Grips. There wasn't a subgenre for that. People were calling it rap rock. But fuck, rap rock could also be Limp Bizkit. Rap rock could also be Rage Against the Machine. But those groups don't sound anything alike. So that kind of shit doesn't help anybody. Now you have Blackie, then you had Death Grips. So now you have two artists in this category. But now what if you have someone that comes along that sounds like Death Grips, but they're writing content like T.I. and Jeezy. They're writing trap shit. What the fuck are they? Are they now rap rock, noise rock, industrial rock, swag rap, fucking trap music? Like what the fuck is it?
I think the artists would like it, but it would be, I guess, what people were calling it before, rap rock. You know?
And that's fucked up because as a consumer, that's not doing anybody any good because rap rock is way too broad of a term. So therefore, why are we even doing it? Just leave the shit. It's hip hop. It's experimental music. Leave whatever you want.
Okay,
why are we?
So that's a subgenre right there. Well, lump all them niggas that you just said, and the that want to do the trap shit with the rock sound, that's experimental.
You think that helps? What purpose does that serve?
Because
Instead of just calling it hip hop.
look, I am of the person that thinks everything is hip hop. I try to explain this shit to people all the time. Everything is hip hop. That's hip hop. You see what I'm saying? But it's different within it. You know what I'm saying? But lump all them niggas together, man. Throw them all in that one fucking experimental subgenre.
No, because yeah, going back to what I just initially asked you, like heavy metal is still rock and roll. It's just a different variation of it, right?
I agree with you.
So that's basically all he's saying, right?
But that's all everybody ever says.
Yeah.
Hip hop is hip hop. Everybody does hip hop. Why can't it be hip hop? Shit, jazz is jazz. Everybody does jazz. They just do different sounds of jazz. Rock is rock. They just do different sounds of
people
rock.
do different sounds of hip hop.
Right. So why can't hip hop have a subgenre?
That's what we're saying.
Why does hip hop gotta try to be so fucking different?
You know what? When it comes, like you said, heavy metal is not the same thing as death metal.
Right.
Death metal isn't the same thing as black metal.
Right.
You have all these different categories, but then even under death metal, you have subgenres of fusion genres, which is what I was saying before. Death metal itself is a fusion genre.
So you think anything that's a problem?
Yeah, because
Oh, okay.
because it starts to get too fucking difficult and too much. Death metal itself, you have Swedish death metal, you have melodic death metal, you have brutal death metal. You know what I'm saying? You have doom death metal. Who cares? It's all death metal. Leave it there and call it a fucking day.
Okay, but it's still a subgenre in terms of death metal.
Yes.
Okay.
But like I said,
so all right, so
hip hop is gonna be too difficult because motherfuckers don't ever stay in their fucking lane. They start creating too much. At the end of the day, the subgenres mean nothing because you can't say what is actually in there.
I feel you, but at the same time, hip hop is big enough to the point where we have 2 Chainz and Joey. And in between there's a lot of motherfuckers in between those two.
Right, so where do they go?
I don't know, and that's why we trying to figure that shit out. I'm just saying. Nah, but I think hip hop is too big to leave it alone now.
You and I both went to Counterpoint last year, right? To the festival.
Unfortunately, yes, we did.
I don't care. We it was just whack. It just got rained out.
Whatever.
But at Counterpoint, we ran across Heroes and Villains, who are doing a completely different sound of hip hop and this whole EDM thing, which is called trap music. They would
It's not called trap music. They were calling it something else. They're calling it like trap. What were they calling it? Trap EDM.
It was
They had a
something, but
name
it's
for it.
but it's hip hop with in the electronic genre. Now it's all ever since we've seen that, it's starting to really grow and become super popular. And at some point, hip hop, I guess, is going to have to decide whether or not they want to include that in the genre or not. But if there were a subgenre in hip hop, we could easily say, yeah, that's trap. That's electronic dance music hip hop.
Which is again a subgenre of a fusion.
Which is a subgenre of hip hop. So I think when you have something that is that distinct of a sound from hip hop, I think you can have a subgenre to help keep people away that like Joey Badass and ASAP and Kendrick and Waka Flocka.
It goes back to my point saying that it's about the sound.
Right, but at the same time, it's like you shouldn't do that to artists. You shouldn't say, "Oh, you only make this."
But they're making those.
I know, but at the same time, but what if they don't want to be held into that specific subgenre? What if they don't want to be held to that? What if they want to make an album like FIFA was saying before? What if they want to make an album that's not necessarily EDM trap?
Then
that album then becomes this. But then you can't describe the artist at all.
You can't describe the artist, but you can describe
That's
the
what I'm saying.
music. You can describe the album. You can describe the sound of music they're making.
By album by album.
If they decide they want to make a different type of sound, yes.
But that's what I'm saying. That's
look,
what
they brought that on themselves though. That's not our fault.
That is.
Is Erykah Badu considered hip hop to y'all?
I said yes before.
Is Lauryn Hill considered hip hop to you?
But you say yes.
Wait. Is Nicki Minaj hip hop?
I don't want to say yes, but yes.
I thought about that. I watched the video.
But why is Erykah Badu considered hip hop? Like, she don't really rap.
It has to. Because remember we told you that hip hop is not just rap. Hip hop is culture.
So
we're using the wrong word to describe the music. It really should be rap.
Yeah.
I mean, and
remember people say that.
and it should be rap.
People say that. People
Because
say
hip-hop is
that
the
hip hop
culture.
is the culture,
Yeah.
rap is the music. So we're just making this so fucking convoluted. Leave these motherfuckers where they're at. Listen to them. If you don't like them, cool. I don't walk around saying I only like this type of rap. No one should. You like hip hop.
Yeah.
And under that hip hop umbrella, you have a million different artists. we're not doing them any service by saying you belong in this fucking category, and therefore you cannot compare them to this person because they're in a different category. I feel like I can compare LP and Big Daddy Kane all day long. I should be able to do that fine because they're both hip hop artists. Do they both make the same kind of rap? Of course not. Of course not. But I can still say that I like Big Daddy Kane's lyrics over LP's or vice versa. What's wrong with that? Or I like his music over his music.
I don't know, but at some point, man, you can't put certain people in the rap or the hip hop lane anymore.
Like who?
Like Flo Rida.
So what is he now?
I would say like a pop artist.
Pitbull.
See, there you go. So you have motherfuckers that are rapping, which when hip hop was created, that was the only thing. See, now this is what's fucked up. Because when hip hop came around, motherfuckers like Sugar Hill Gang and Curtis Blow, they were just fucking having a good time and partying and rhyming. Are they hip hop? Yes or no?
Well, yeah,
okay, so why can't Flo Rida be hip hop if they're doing the same fucking thing?
It's not the same.
Why?
Because
Hip-hop
you
don't even
because
claim
Because you know why? Because hip hop changed and then went back.
No, it's because you have people that's making that same type of music, like, and they're not considered hip hop.
Okay, was Nelly hip hop?
Of course.
Yeah, Nelly was more hip hop. But the thing with Flo Rida and Pitbull is that hip hop themselves don't want to even claim them.
Because hip hop is a bunch of pretentious assholes.
Right, and that's where I was going with it. And when you brought up Soulja Boy, I thought about Chief Keef, and Trinidad James, and all these other people that make a different style of rap. But you ask a motherfucker to be like, nah, man, that's not hip hop. That's not hip hop, because it goes back to what you just said. They're pretentious, and it's like one of the points you're making is like it's all rap. It should all be included.
Right.
But
stop being so fucking
in order
to protective of your fucking genres, man.
But you gotta say, but you can look, man. If
just say you don't like them,
still do it.
Just say you don't like them. I don't like Chief Keef. Cool. I'm not gonna say I don't like what is he trap music? What the fuck is Chief Keef? I can't say I don't like trap music, even though 98% of the artists that are involved in trap music I don't like. But I like some of them. I like some of them. So that means I can't say I don't like. Say I don't like this person and this person. Why do you have to say I don't like the entire genre? Because you want to sound cooler than somebody else. Or you want to create your own genre so you can sound cooler than somebody else. The only motherfuckers that get anything out of this are these asshole fucking journalists that write this shit. Oh, so-and-so makes esoteric, southwestern conscious rap. They were the first one to coin that term, so therefore they're important. Even though the artists themselves are like, what the fuck does that even mean? I make hip-hop. Why can't I just make hip-hop?
Subgenres. I'm not against the idea of creating subgenres. I think hip hop, by default has already created subgenres anyway. But for me, the reason why I'm not completely against it is because hip hop now has so many different sounds and styles to them that people need to be able to distinguish between the artists themselves, and it helps people find people that they like. So, and I think, we have this whole trap music that's coming along. We have the experimental hip hop that Mike listens to that a lot of people wouldn't be able to connect to. So you need to be able to say, hey, you like this type of music, you like this type of sound. Then
Why?
Stop, man. Let me finish.
Why do you have to say that? Why do you have to say I don't like this? Why do you have to do that?
Wait, say that question.
Why do you have to put yourself in such a box?
It's not putting yourself in a box.
But you have to say, because then you can say you don't like this. Why? Why can't you just say I don't like this?
If you ask somebody what type of music you listen to,
they say hip hop. They say whatever.
They're gonna describe the artist. They're gonna describe whatever type of hip hop they are.
If you go to any random ass chick and say, what kind of music do you like? Oh, I like hip hop. Well, like who? Like who? Oh, I like Jay-Z. I like Flo Rida. I like Nelly.
So you like
I like
mainstream
Kanye.
hip-hop.
So you like hip hop. But then you just said that Pitbull and Flo Rida, some people don't consider them hip hop.
But you said the subgenre yourself, saying that you don't like all trap music. You said you only like you like 98. You only like, I guess, 2% of trap music artists.
I said people that are considered trap music. That's why I don't like the term. Okay. That's why I don't stick to subgenres.
But it is what it is, though, because there's trap music out there.
It is what it is.
How is it not?
The sounds are not always similar.
I understand that, but it's the content. But it's the content and what they're rapping and how they sound. You can't tell me that a lot of Jeezy beats don't sound like T.I. beats.
And all of a sudden it's boom bap? Exactly.
But hip hop are automatically, by the music that people make, is the only point I've been making. There's a trap music lane, and we didn't even have to call it that. It spawned itself, and in all honesty, T.I. started that. Really? Okay. Trap music. The artist himself started. Okay. So what I'm saying is that that's one subgenre that hip hop has clearly defined within itself.
Is it that clear?
It's pretty clear.
Is it that clear?
A lot of people are saying trap music now.
Okay, right, but within that subgenre itself, is it that clear? Because you have artists that sound completely dissimilar in that subgenre.
But they know what they're gonna get though.
Exactly. They
know what they're gonna get content-wise. They don't know what they're gonna get sound-wise.
I think they have them.
And that's the problem.
Yeah, they are gonna know what they're gonna get
No, they
sound-wise.
don't. Because if I walk in there and I say I want trap music, and someone gives me T.I., I might walk into a different store and say I want trap music. Someone might give me Waka.
They're all
They're not the fucking same. That's what I'm saying.
They talking about selling dope, about making money.
Once again, they have the same content. They do not sound the same.
There's a
What do you mean? T.I. and Waka sound the same?
No, the two artists don't sound the same, but the music sounds the same. They be rapping over the same production.
But,
The music does not sound the same.
but it goes back to like swag rap. If Kanye is a swag rapper and ASAP is a ASAP Rocky is a swag rapper, that's completely different.
But isn't this whole swag movement new
you know what I'm
though?
saying?
They don't even have a, I mean, they have a sound, but we still don't know exactly what it is.
That's the point, kid.
But it hasn't been around long enough yet.
Swag rap has been around for fucking years.
But to not
It just recently got labeled. That's the fucking thing. Before swag rap was just hip hop.
Slick Rick was swag. Ghostface.
Thank you.
When I think of swag rap, I'm thinking of a sound. I'm not thinking
What's the sound?
specifically of a content. I'm thinking
So they
about.
got
He used to like he was his swag rap was influenced by Slick Rick. Ghostface.
but it's still storytelling.
But it's still
See, this is the problem I'm talking about. You have 5 people in a fucking room that cannot agree on what the artist is.
You're not gonna-
That's my fucking point.
BZ430 is not gonna tell me that Ghostface is swag rap. Ghostface.
But Beezy's not, because Beezy's a little more educated than that. But somebody else might. That's the point. So if somebody else who likes Little B walks into a record store and someone gives them Ghostface, they're gonna be pissed. They're like, what the fuck? I can't get jiggy with this shit. This isn't swag rap. This is boom bap. And then I might say that's not boom bap.
Well, that's that person. That person labeled the shit wrong.
Man, it's no.
According to who?
Yeah.
According to who?
Whoever you would not give FIFO over 50% of the albums you listen to because you know he won't listen. He
Based on the sound, I wouldn't say
exactly my point. That's what subgenres can come into play.
I'm saying because I said from the beginning, I agree with you when it comes to describing the music to somebody. I don't agree with FIFO as far as making the subgenre so fucking stringent.
But you put FIFO in a box.
What box am I putting FIFO in?
Whatever box of music he listened to,
I don't know what FIFO listens to. He listens to everything, as far as I'm concerned, except for experimental hip hop. But then again, I can't say that because he claimed to like Shabazz Palaces. Remember, Shabazz bumped in the whip, didn't it?
Yeah.
So therefore, I can't tell FIFO that he doesn't. There's a man. Hold on now. Hold on, time out. I just accidentally proved my point. Look, so you just said, like you were saying earlier, you can say then that you don't like experimental rap. So before you'd have told FIFO you don't like experimental rap. But you do because you like Shabazz Palaces. Yes, because that's the whole point. So listen for 2 seconds, right? Let me fucking finish. If you walk into a record store, like Ken was saying, you would avoid the experimental section altogether. But then you're missing out on Shabazz Palaces. But that's one artist you might love. If I had that method of thinking, I would walk into a store and completely avoid the trap music section. And then I might miss out on T.I. One of the best rappers in the South, period.
Agreed. But
Right.
you was on camera saying that you don't like trap music. Did you say you don't like trap music?
the majority of what is being considered trap music.
Okay.
But I don't agree with holding somebody to that standard, holding somebody to that subgenre. That's my whole point. It's like, stop sticking motherfuckers in the box. If they want to make hip hop, let them make hip hop. If they want to talk about drugs, let them talk about drugs. But why do you have to say, oh, I don't like experimental hip hop. I don't like this. I don't like that. How about you just don't like those artists? I don't like the music that this person makes. Why dismiss an entire fucking group of people based on a fucking title that somebody you don't even know gave them?